Now, breaking news from RTV6.
We've got breaking news out of Bartholomew County. A small plane with 2 people on board crashed into a home in Columbus this morning, and the home caught fire. Luckily, the only person inside the home at the time got out okay. This happened around 9:30 on the north side of Columbus near the airport in the 2200 block of Broadmoor Lane. And that's where RTV6 reporter Julie Persley is there live to start our team coverage.
To give you an idea of where the Broadmoor subdivision is, it's not far from Central and US 31 here in Columbus. Now, this is Broadmoor Lane. The home is just behind us where the plane crashed at about 9:30 this morning. Here's the updated information we've been able to get. There were 2 men on that small plane that apparently had just taken off from the airport here in Columbus. It's not very far from this neighborhood. Residents tell us it is just a couple of miles, if that, away from here. Now, both men on that plane were rushed to Wishart Hospital, where they are being treated in Indianapolis. The amazing thing is that there was a woman here in this home when the plane crashed into the back of the house. She described for us what happened.
And suddenly it's big sounds, and I saw the patio. So patio's room is falling down. And the second time is very big sounds again. So window, living room window, and other is broken out.
Were you the only one in the house when the plane crashed?
Yes.
So I was walking on this street with my cane, and I saw one plane coming from Rocky Ford area, and it was I realized that plane has lost its control, and it came very close. And when it came at just above the tree height, so I did like this, and immediately saw that plane crashed on that backside, and immediately saw the fire.
Now you're taking a live look from Skycam 6 that is flying over the home here in the Broadmoor neighborhood in Columbus, again on the north side of the community. In addition to that man that you just heard from who actually saw the plane go down, he said it went nose first into the house. I also spoke to another woman who works for a community here, a mobile home community not too far away from here. She told me that she saw the plane. She said for some reason it got very low. She thought that it possibly was a crop duster, but she knew that that would not be happening here in this neighborhood. And that's when she said it looked like the plane banked to the left, and then immediately she lost sight of it. That is when the plane crashed. People who live here in the neighborhood came rushing out of their homes. They said the ground actually shook around this area and that the home then erupted into flames. The amazing thing here is that the woman that was inside of the home is not injured. Again, 2 survivors on that plane, and they were rushed to the hospital in Indianapolis. We've been talking to people in the community. They say they have never seen or heard anything like this. But again, all of the streets around this area here in Columbus are still shut down. A number of investigators are on the scene, including the Bartholomew County Sheriff's Department, the Columbus Police Department, and the Indiana State Police, along with investigators from the airport here in Columbus. As we get more information, we will pass it along to you. Make sure to keep updated on your RTV6 mobile app. Reporting live from Columbus, Julie Persley, RTV6.
Our team coverage continues. The 2 people on board the plane were flown by medical helicopter to Wishart Hospital here in Indianapolis. That hospital has a burn unit. RTV6 reporter Norman Cox is there live with the latest.
We're here outside the Wishart emergency room where 2 people from that plane crash in Columbus have been taken. We're told they are the 2 people that were on the plane. Wishart spokesperson tells me that he confirms that the 2 were airlifted here by Lifeline. One was severe burns, but they were non-life-threatening injuries. Now, about an hour ago, that Lifeline helicopter from IU Health landed at the temporary helipad over here at the Roudabush Veterans Hospital. The people were taken immediately by ambulance here to Wishart. Right now, they are not only not releasing any names, the spokesperson says that people outside the emergency room don't even have any names yet. So no names on these, no genders, no ages. What they have confirmed is that these people were airlifted here by Lifeline from the plane crash. that one has severe burns. They don't have any classified as to whether they are first, second, or third degree, but we are told that they are non-life-threatening injuries, and we're hoping to get more information later for you. Live at Wishart Hospital's emergency room, I'm Norman Cox, RTV6.
Well, within the past hour, emergency crews on the scene held a news conference to update reporters on the status of what exactly happened. RTV6 reporter Derek Thomas was there and joins us now live on the phone from the crash scene. Investigators, what have they told you, Derek?
Mark, Lieutenant Matt Myers of the Columbus Police Department gave us a briefing, and he indicated to me that this could have been so much worse. Thankfully, it was not. Two men, as a number of people have told you already, are currently hospitalized and being treated for severe burns at Wishart Hospital. They were on the plane. No one on the ground or in the house was injured. First responders talked to the men who were on the plane.
They're older gentlemen, and they both were able to speak there at the scene to personnel and things of that nature.
What did they say?
Well, the one individual that I spoke with, basically he made the statement of, thank God that I'm alive. He couldn't believe that he was still alive, and he was more concerned about his friend than he was himself. And he was the one with the head injuries and the burns that was lifeline.
Was he the pilot, the one who spoke?
I don't know if he was the pilot or not.
Again, as Norman told you, they are not releasing the names at the hospital, and they did not release them here. We'll be following this story closely all afternoon. Live from Columbus, Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Amazing to hear those comments there. Derek, thank you for your report. For all the latest information on this breaking situation in Columbus and at Wishart, we have team coverage. You can keep it locked on the RTV6 app. We will stream any press conferences directly to you, and we will send you push alert updates. Let's switch gears. It's another race weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. NASCAR's Super Weekend getting started with practice today as the first of 4 days leading up to the Brickyard 400. RTV6 sports anchor Brad Brown is live at IMS with a look at all that action going on there. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Mark, good afternoon. The Rolex Grand Am Series and the Continental Tire Sports Car Series are the first on the track here today. We'll actually see the Nationwide and Sprint Cup cars on the track for the first time on Friday. But a beautiful day out here at the track and some great action. We've got the likes of BMW, Corvette, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Audi on the track right now. Later, we'll see the likes of Mazda, Nissan, Kia, Ford, and others as a bunch of classes are going all at once here. We're also going to see the Indy 500 champ back in action this weekend. Tony Kanaan is getting a chance to race this weekend for Chip Ganassi. Now, the story came about Ryan Briscoe was supposed to race in one of the Daytona Prototype 01 car with Joey Hand this weekend. Well, of course, Briscoe injured his hand in an accident during an IndyCar race last month. So Chip needed someone to fill that seat. He made the call to TK, and it was ready to go. So Kanaan, the 500 champ, we caught him practicing driver changes earlier this morning. That's something new. This time on the road course will be new. And as for TK, well, the 500 champ has had many experiences around here, but he's ready for a new one this weekend.
Chip always say, you know, I like to put champions in my cars, and you're 500, so would you accept that? And it's hard to say no, you know. I think me and Chip, we have a history of me trying to drive for him for so many years, and never happened. So finally, we finally made it happen. It's for one race, and nothing that a lot of people are trying to read into it, but this is just for this weekend, and that's how it happened. And it couldn't happen in a better place for me, I can tell you that.
And TK wanted to point out, just for this one race, he'll have a lot more to talk about live with Dave Hurst coming up tonight at 6:20 as our trackside sit coverage continues. These cars will race on Friday. Nationwide Series practice and the Sprint Cup guys out here on Friday, and of course those races on Saturday and Sunday. If the weather stays like this, we're in for a good weekend out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Mark, we'll send it back to you.
All right, that's what I'd like to hear. Thank you, Brad Brown, live for us this midday. There's a big event tonight in downtown Speedway to help kick off the Brickyard weekend. The hauler parade is from 5 to 8:30. Teams started lining up this morning to get their haulers washed. The hauler parade will be in downtown Speedway along Main Street tonight. This is a chance to get an up-close look at the trucks that these teams use as they travel around the country with the cars inside. The free event starts at 5 with live music. At 6 o'clock, the NASCAR Sprint Cup haulers arrive. Then the Pit Stop Challenge at 6:45. Selected fans will perform simulated pit stops on stock cars, and then the haulers start heading to the track at 8. RTV6 News at noon continues after this short break. Keep it here. RTV6 is continuing to follow breaking news from Columbus. You're looking live after a plane crashed into a home. Skycam 6 over the scene right now. 2 people were seriously injured and are now at Wishart Hospital. We want to show you, Skycam 6 has been over this breaking news since the onset. This is what it looked like before fire crews really got the smoke to settle there. We understand that there are 3 survivors in all of this after the plane crashed into a home on the 2200 block of Broadmoor Lane. One of the people on board the crashed plane pulled out and telling rescuers, quote, "Thank God I'm alive." An amazing story of survival as the person who was in the home also survived the crash, was able to get out okay. Those 2 men that were on board the plane are now at Wishart. We do not know their names yet, but we will be continuing to monitor this story. You can get updates on the RTV6 mobile app or on the IndyChannel.com. Early this morning, a Hancock County family escaped a fire that started in their home. This happened just before 3 this morning on the 3900 block of South 600th Street in New Palestine. By the time fire crews got there, flames had spread around the entire home. Dispatchers say it caused extensive damage. Fire investigators think the fire may have sparked on the deck. No one was hurt. New international air service is coming to Indianapolis just in time for the holidays and winter getaways. Beginning December 21st, Delta Airlines will offer new weekly nonstop service between Indianapolis and the Caribbean. There will be 2 separate nonstop flights from here to Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Nassau, Bahamas. These will be scheduled morning flights. We're following a developing story in Spain, a deadly train derailment and crash, and now we're seeing the incredible video of it as it happened. Look at that. You see it coming around the corner. The carriages start to buckle on the turn. The engine quickly follows and tips violently to the right as it crashes into a concrete wall. Well, that death toll stands today at 80. More than 100 others are injured. An Associated Press analysis of those pictures shows the train was traveling well above the speed limit on that section of track, which is 50 miles per hour. Analysts estimate it was going anywhere from 89 to 119 miles per hour. Well, the weather is great today for drivers and fans. Comfortable, given last year on this day it was 103 degrees. Todd has your race weekend forecast coming up here on RTV6 News at noon. You're watching RTV6. We're following breaking news in Columbus. You're looking live after a plane crashed into a home. These are live pictures from Skycam 6 of the scene there. Plane crashing on Broadmoor Lane just south of Columbus Municipal Airport. We can tell you there are 3 survivors total of this. 2 people who were on the plane were pulled from the wreckage and transported to Wishart Hospital, where they are right now. A person in the home managed to escape as well. We're continuing to follow this story, so keep it locked on RTV6 online, on air, and on your apps. Now time for your Storm Team 6 forecast. It's going to be a pretty nice weekend. Great day.
You know, it's a beautiful day. When you get to the end of July, you think heat, humidity.
Right.
You call these days bonus days because they don't come very often this time of year. We have no humidity to speak of. And take a look at this view as you look off to the west past White River State Park. Tell you what, a great place to be today would be the Indianapolis Zoo if you want to head down there, because it's going to be absolutely fabulous, comfortable temperatures. You don't have to deal with that blazing heat, and you don't also have to deal with those high humidity levels, but they will be returning to central Indiana. As far as this morning, when you walked out the door, take a look at Muncie. Got all the way down to 49 degrees. That's the coolest temperature we have seen in quite some time. The 57-degree low temperature here in Indianapolis. That's the coolest since June the 14th. Got down to 54 from Bloomington to Terre Haute and 53 from Lafayette to Peru. So these temperatures were very cool for this time of year, and you certainly noticed them as you walked out the door. But with plenty of sunshine, we've seen our temperatures warm all the way back up to about 73 degrees right now. You notice this dew point, it's at 51. That's a very low number, and as a result, our humidity is only at 46%, and just a nice little breeze out of the north-northeast, currently at 10 miles per hour. We're making plans this evening. Sunset is at 9:05. We're up to 70 right now in Muncie as well as Peru. 72 degrees right now in Terre Haute, 72 also in Bloomington. And remember, our winds are coming out of the north-northwest, so that is this direction. And you see it's 72 in Columbus, and it's 70 in Detroit, north-northeasterly wind, I should say, not northwest. And that northeasterly wind is going to keep our temperatures in check. So while we're at 73 degrees right now, even with all the sunshine that we'll have throughout the afternoon hours, our high temperature will go up to 79 degrees. By 6 o'clock, we're still at 78, mostly sunny skies. And 9 p.m., your temperature's at 76. Just know, again, sunset's at 9:05. As soon as that sun does start to set, we're going to cool off very quickly into the 60s. And and eventually back down into the 50s by tomorrow morning. Some clouds just now starting to build a little bit on the western side of the state, but overall high pressure is in control, and this is going to keep us high and dry throughout the day today and even for the first half of tomorrow. Well, fast forward to Friday morning here at 7 o'clock. You'll wake up to mostly sunny skies, but then the clouds will start to increase throughout the afternoon. Here we are at 2 o'clock, and a front will be approaching as we go into the evening hours Friday. I think it's still off to our west for any Friday evening plans, but overnight into Saturday morning, look for scattered showers to develop. And these showers will be with us off and on throughout the morning hours. So when you wake up Saturday, it will be gray. There'll be some showers around, but then as we go into the afternoon hours, those showers do push off to the east, and it turns into a pretty decent Saturday again in the afternoon hours. This year so far we're over 2.78 inches above normal for precipitation, but a lot of that fell the first half of the year. So far right now this month, Shelbyville nearly 3 inches below normal, about 1 inch below normal here in Indianapolis. As far as highs today, top off in the upper 70s to the north to right around 80 degrees down to the south. And here's your 7-day planning forecast. 81 tomorrow with a mixture of sun and clouds. There's those showers on Saturday morning, and right now it's looking great for the Brickyard 400. Lots of sunshine and a temperature of 77. Well, for a limited time, download the RTV6 app and you could win an iPad. We've made it simple. Just download the app, open it up, and select the first story, then fill out the form. Plus, you get push alerts and live video of breaking news from RTV6 just like today. So download the app now and you could win a brand new iPad.
And it's worth it because you also get breaking news and you also get the weather there too. So
That's
might
right.
as well do it.
2 for 1.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of breaking news, we're going to take you back out over the scene of that breaking news. This is a plane crash. Plane crashed into a home in Columbus. Right now, I want to invite you to get on the RTV6 Twitter page. We've got pictures coming in from people in the neighborhood who saw the fireball when the plane hit the home. We invite you to take a look at those pictures on the RTV6 Twitter page.
We are continuing to follow breaking news from Columbus after a plane crashed into a home. I'm in the newsroom now where our assignment desk has been following things closely through the past couple hours, and we have just learned in the last several moments from our crews in Skycam 6. Again, this is a live picture from Skycam 6, but our crews up there are telling us that sources are telling them that this appears to be a homemade plane that crashed into this home, and that could explain why we have not been able to spot all morning from our bird's eye view the plane in that house. Again, the crews are telling our sources up in the sky that this was a homemade plane, perhaps, that crashed into this home. 2 people, again, seriously injured, now at Wishart Hospital. Julie Pursley was the first on scene for RTV6. She's live right now. Julie, what are you hearing?
Well, joining me now is Tyler, who lives here in the neighborhood. Tyler, where were you and what did you hear or see?
Well, I live over here by Sims Drive, just probably about a block away, and I just heard like a motor go like whoosh or like put, and then I heard a whoosh, and then I went outside and everybody was telling me to look that way or where the scene was, and that's when I'm like, well, this isn't good.
Was the house on fire already?
Yes, it was. It was full of brown smoke, and by the time we got to over here, we noticed heavy flame or big.
A lot of fire.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyler, thank you so much for talking to us. So again, a number of people very startled ran out of their homes right after this happened. But again, the woman in the home is okay. Live in Columbus, Julie Pursley, RTV6.
Want to show you a picture from the scene. A neighbor that Julie interviewed earlier in our newscast provided her with this photo.